Yeah.
Oh, wait. Here's one person that we also missed on this list of we turned the stones over. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold got the stone turned on him. So that's another person. Again, literally.
Hold on. Let's do part 5 of like the lesser quarterbacks that we didn't give a mention to. Someone else put him in here. So we got Sam Darnold, but there was also Joe Flacco. No,
that's a backup move. I hope, at least. Jesus.
But Sam Darnold was not. Darnold was a starter.
Yes, he is a starter. So again, that's a list of 4 quarterbacks on top of a trade up that your coach admitted was an overpay. It's clear as day that this is what's been in the cards. And to talk about your point about him being cut, I don't think that they'll cut him. I don't think that that's what they'll do. I don't. I really don't.
John will let it happen.
Yeah, and I think they kind of
cares, man.
I don't think he does, but I don't think that that's what's going to happen. And I'm still going to stick to, my prediction that they're going to play it safe and they're going to start Jimmy Garoppolo early on.
Okay. Just wait for Jimmy to start
and see what. Well, I don't know about that, but let's just see how it plays out. Again, if he plays well, the 49ers win games and they boost his trade value, that's cool. If he doesn't, then you go right to Trey Lance, and that's it. That's the end of the Jimmy Garoppolo era. So it's pretty cut and dry what's about to happen here. So it's just the discussion around all of this is missing sometimes when you see people say, "Oh, he's the guy. He's absolutely Kyle loves him." What would lead you to believe that Kyle loves him? What would lead you to believe that Kyle wants him here still?
No.
When he's done everything in his power since the Super Bowl to replace him.
No. What we're learning is that Kyle can't stand Jimmy Garoppolo, the sight of him. He can't be I'm sorry. That's what we're perceiving here.
How can you beat Jimmy Garoppolo and hear all these things and hear every single all these names? Yes.
Jimmy gets it. So look,
yes.
Kyle wants him gone. And the first plan was Watson, then it was Stafford, then it was Darnold. Guys that they could just throw Jimmy out for. But then they ended up with Trey Lance, who could be the right guy. But you've never seen Trey Lance in a live situation. You can't really get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo yet. Doesn't mean that Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be on this team week 1, though. It just means that let's see Trey Lance in camp. Let's see Trey Lance in preseason. They could always trade Jimmy Garoppolo on August 28th or September 1st. They could take it up to the deadline, and I kind of think they will.
Here's a question for you. Is the trade up to 3 a desperation move? Because they're like, this is the last chance that we have to replace him, and we can replace him with somebody who's cheap?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
That's the thing.
My recollection is that trade up to 3 happened within days of Watson getting like 20+ women, that thing. Like once the number went up to 20+,
it was like 23 or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that if he did get himself out of this situation, it's going to take time.
It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. I feel like the Niners made the move a couple days later. I could be wrong, but that's the way I remember it.
So that's my point is, look, this Lance thing has to work. It has to work. One, because Kyle stamped his flag on him, but they exhausted every single option before finally they said, now let's just go for it and go to 3 so we can get a quarterback. Again, I hate to say it, but the writing's been on the wall for a long, long time. Every time that and the best part is it's not speculation anymore. Kyle Shanahan's coming out and confirming all of these things for you. So
what's confusing for Niner fans is there's not a coherent narrative. They got the front office and ownership saying one thing, but what we've been saying is like, guys, it's Kyle's team. Listen to Kyle. He's not hard. He's not hard to decode. It's really not hard. And I think that's what people are starting to get, that Kyle is actually more down on Jimmy than we are. And he's been this way since 2019 to bring this full circle. I was trying to say since 2019, like, guys, you think I'm harsh on Jimmy? You think I'm harsh comparing him to Nick Mullins? You should imagine what Kyle, his own head coach, has to say in these meetings. So
and look, other stuff, right? Let's just pick it all apart, right? What game was it that Nick Mullins started? I think it was a Monday Night Football game against old movies like Ferris Bueller. If this was Napoleon Dynamite, is Kyle the uncle who?
Hold on, finish your thought. We'll come back to it. I just didn't want to miss it.
Oh, that's all right. I think it was the Monday Night Football game against the Bills.
Okay.
And when Kyle Shanahan has that meeting, because the 2 coaches on Monday Night Football, the way it works is ESPN. They're allowed to sit in the room and you have to give them an interview.
Yes. Production meeting.
What? Yeah. What did Kyle Shanahan have to gain by telling Brian Greasy that Nick Mullins is the smartest guy in the room and he's the one to playbook? What do you gain from that? Look, okay, Let's play both sides of it. Let's play the good side. You want to hype up a guy that you need to play well to win games. And remember, the 49ers were still very much in the playoff hunt at that time. So if you want to use that as motivation, okay. But the other side of it is, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, why haven't you ever said anything about like that about me? Even in 2019, when this team was rolling, you never heard that sort of praise. Never. So it's all there for you to just look at it, just piece it all together. And that's really what it is. But yeah, you take the question.
I mean, Kyle's been trying to get the breakup since before the 2019 season. He's been trying to move on for that long. That's all you got to know. That's all you got to know. So when he would praise Nick Mullins, it wasn't because he loved Nick Mullins. It was because he was trying to get the organization to let him move on from Jimmy. He's trying to be like, I don't need Jimmy. But John and Jed are like, your record says different, bud. So he's still in this position where he can't get rid of Jimmy. Can't get rid of Jimmy. If you had Stafford, you could. But now, even with Trey Lance, he still can't. And he needs Lance to knock it out of the park in preseason. And that's the hope and the expectation. They're not going to say it. But you know Kyle is like, come on, buddy. Come on, man. Like, there's no question.
He wanted Nick to succeed. He really did. Just so he could, be labeled.
I don't need Jimmy anymore. Mm-hmm. But there's still a large segment of the population that's like, yo, you do need Jimmy, bro. Prove it. Rod Simmons
because
says,
the W loss record, the win loss record, that's the thing. That's the thing that everybody always points to. But the context is lost, man. It really is. When you talk about that was a top 1-2 defense. I'm not saying that Nick Mullins would have won that many games. I'm not saying that Nick Mullins is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah. But stop acting like Jimmy Garoppolo was world beating people. Like the Saints game, you could point to certain games where he did a lot of things right, and that's fine. But people make that record to be like, if Tom Brady had that record, they would be like, look, he's the GOAT. Like it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not built equally. It's not the same thing.
No, Rod Simmons has a very important question. Old movies like Ferris Bueller, if this was, I don't know why Ferris Bueller's in here, but if this was Napoleon Dynamite, is Kyle the uncle who likes to record throws? Well, yeah. And Jimmy Pedro. Will Jimmy Garoppolo cut off his hair?
So I like the Uncle Rico reference. And if Coach would have put me in, I'm still convinced that if Coach would have put Rico in, they would have won the state title, like no questions asked. But I don't know. This is a good. I
don't think Jimmy's Pedro.
One. No,
I don't think he's going to win any. I don't think he's winning any elections anytime soon. He used to be the popular guy. No, Jimmy is the boyfriend of the stuck-up girl. The boyfriend with the blonde hair who has no lines, but like is always like. I love that guy. That guy's underrated in that movie.
So look,
who's Rex Kwon Do
though? Who's what?
Who's Rex Kwon Do?
Rex Kwon Do. Gosh, man, that's a great one. What is it? Go ahead, attack me. No, he's like, get it out of here. Attack me.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it. Man. But I mean, it's really more about where are we now with this? Can we put this to bed that it's quite obvious that, I mean, even whatever. If you want to use the trade up and say, okay, the Jimmy Garoppolo era is over, it's kind of been over for a while, and that's the thing. And it was right after the Super Bowl that all this happened. You can't turn over. Kyle's been consistent, Jason, if you only cite 2 quotes from 2 pressers. Yeah.
It's just vindicating because I feel like we've been like, hey, if you read the tea leaves, you can see that the Niners aren't happy with Jimmy Garoppolo. Specifically, Kyle Shanahan is not happy with Jimmy Garoppolo, and just so much pushback from Niner fans for years. It's like, man, you need to do a better job of listening to Kyle. He's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you.
And like we said, that's where the coach speak comes in. Sometimes you can duck all this if you but he has no interest in.
Yeah, Harbaugh would duck it.